we will lead this off then. Justin Spears, go ahead.
Hey, Ira, good to see you. I'm just curious, are you back in Tucson by any chance?
No, I'm in LA right now.
Okay, but what are you doing to kind of keep yourself ready, and what is the plan for you once you return to campus?
Right. I mean, I have access to a few gyms out here. A lot of people know my
I'm not
dad.
getting audio.
Oh,
I can hear you, Ira.
No, I'm not hearing them, and
really?
I don't even know if I'm on with them. I don't know. I just
Can everybody else hear Ira okay?
Yeah, I could hear Ira.
Okay. All right. Justin, why don't you ask the question again, and we'll just kind of start over.
Sure. So Ira, I'm just curious. How are you staying ready? During this weird time, and what's the plan for you once you return to Tucson?
Well, I have access to a few gyms out here, and a lot of people know my dad is a strength and conditioning coach. So I've been working hard with him. I go about 2-3 times a day because honestly, there's not much else you could do right now. And as far as my plans when I get back to Tucson, I haven't been around the team in a while, so it'll be good to see them, and also just to follow the protocol they have for us, with coronavirus, and just settling back in and getting ready for what's to come.
Ryan, go ahead.
Ira, you've been really outspoken on Twitter about the Black Lives Matter movement. I was just wondering if you had any message that you would like to put out there about it.
Mm-hmm. I posted earlier this week about people unfollowing me, and I personally don't care. I really don't care. Everything that I retweet, everything that I post, I stand strongly by. And it's one, I'm not a racist. If you know me, I love everyone. I'm cool with everybody. I'm the nicest person in the world. But the issue right now, the pinpoint issue right now is Black lives do matter, because there's a lot of things going on. There's young Black men getting hung still. There's people getting shot. I wrote a song, and in that song I said 400 years of shame, because this has been happening for over 400 years. And we always try to say, oh, it's better, but I'm trying to highlight the issue that it's not as good as everyone makes it seem. So I'm gonna keep going strong for it. People don't agree with me, people don't agree, but it is what it is.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, good to see you, man. You just touched on it a little bit with your dad, and when you're here in Tucson, we don't often get a chance to really talk about your family's influence on you. So I just kind of want to hear from your perspective what it's like working with your dad as a strength coach, and kind of the influence he's had on you on your playing career.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people know my dad was a pro football player, played for the Raiders for 5-6 years. So he's always instilled in me, just work hard at anything you do, whether it's school, basketball, even when I do my songwriting, go hard in that. And it applies to when we work out every day. If he sees I'm slacking, he'll get on me. So I just take that mentality and I put it towards everything I do in life. And just hard work. I mean, everybody knows that. Everybody knows how I get down. I work hard. I'll play hard. And that's all my dad's taught me, man. It's that one simple thing right there.
Songwriting as well?
No, songwriting. Well, the funny thing is my mom and my dad, actually my whole family can sing. So growing up, I thought singing was just a normal thing. And I got into high school, and I had friends that saw my talent, and they said, do you like writing poetry? Do you like writing? I was like, yeah, so they got me into songwriting. And since then, I've used it as a method to, to cope with personal issues and just to express myself.
Bruce, if you want to go ahead next. Bruce, you're muted. Hold on, Bruce. Try again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, hey Ira, about your song that you posted on Twitter, is there more to it and that wasn't on Twitter? And I was just kind of wondering, how did that come up, and how long did it take you to write that? It seemed like I was wondering if that came from something, but you said it was original you wrote yourself.
Mm-hmm. I think I wrote that around the time where the protests was starting up, and it came from anger and just a lot of sadness because I actually went to the protest in Hollywood, and it was peaceful. It started out peaceful, but things went out of control when the police showed up. So I came home and I wrote that song in like an hour. And to answer your question earlier, there is more to that song. I wrote it's like a whole 3-minute song.
Oh.
But yeah, a lot of that came from anger and sadness and just stuff that I was seeing, as far as like George Floyd, the way that situation happened, Breonna Taylor, and then just to go out to the protests and see, seeing my young peers getting shot by like those rubber bullets, it's how could that not make anyone mad? So I just wanted to put it down on paper, and I wanted to show the world like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. This is how a lot of us feel. And you guys need to understand.
Well, you mentioned that the part where you said, hey, if you don't want to follow me, block me or whatever, you were fine with that. But are you getting some negative feedback, or what kind of feedback have you been getting? Because you have been pretty active retweeting things along all these issues. That come up.
Honestly, I haven't got really any harsh messages. I've gotten a few, but I ignore those. But I looked at my following. I don't pay attention to that in general, but I was like, wow, that's interesting. A lot of people have unfollowed me, and all I've been posting is Black Lives Matter, and not just Black Lives Matter stuff that there's kids starving in Yemen, the issues with Latinos. So I'm posting everything. So. And I feel people are uncomfortable with that. So I'm just saying, if you're uncomfortable with it, then don't follow me.
Justin, go ahead.
Ira, you said songwriting helped you cope with, some personal issues. Were there other things that you wrote songs about, or is this somewhat new to you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I'm not gonna get into it fully, but high school. Actually, I'll put it this way. Songwriting and basketball, me, I see myself, sometimes I could be awkward, socially awkward sometimes. So I saw those two things as a place and a thing where I can express myself. So like the things I do on the court, you see me scream after I dunk, that's me expressing myself. Because in reality, if it's just me walking down the street, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep to myself, like, stuff like that. Songwriting is the same thing. I have trouble expressing my emotions or how I feel inside. So when I sing, I feel it comes out smoothly. It's like, it just flows, so that's why I gravitate to basketball and songwriting.
Steve, you're up next.
Good morning, Ira. I'm wondering how much you think you've grown as a basketball player and as a person since arriving on the campus.
Man, I've grown tremendously. Basketball, and coming in, I thought I knew what I was doing, but I had so much to learn. And when I'm about to be a senior, so I've encountered with so many different players, different schemes, been in different situations. I've been on a winning team, losing team. So I've grown tremendously in basketball. And then off the court, I've had my ups, I've had my downs. And I can definitely say I don't think the same way I did as a 18, 19-year-old incoming freshman.
Is that kind of a metaphor for life, coming to college and then dealing with all that stuff?
Yeah, growth. I mean, if you're 22 and still thinking like an 18-year-old, then I think you got a lot more other personal issues going on there.
If I could, just one more last question, because this will probably be it. Just the dynamics of the new players coming in, obviously a bunch of foreigners and you guys, the vets coming in. How do you see the dynamics or the chemistry?
Honestly, I don't see it as a problem. We've had plenty of international players before. Actually, while I've been home, I've been working out one of our incoming freshmen, Tibet, and we're all hoopers. We all have the same goal. They all came here to win. The guys that are still here want to win, and as long as we all have that understanding, there'll be no problems.
Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Ira, I was curious what you think. Have you done any sort of working out with a mask? And what's your, do you have concerns about like the limitations that could put on as far as preparation?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. No, I work out with the mask every day, you know, because my dad, he's scared of the coronavirus. So that's all he talks about, hand sanitizer, wear your mask. So it's uncomfortable. I've been doing it for about like a month or two and still haven't really gotten used to it. So I'm real curious on how we're going to go about that when it comes to like 5-on-5 practice. And even the coaches are still wondering how that's going to work. So we're all trying to figure it out.
Do you have anybody close to you that has been affected by this?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. Thank you.
Bruce, go ahead.
Well, actually, Ira, I wanted to follow up on that mask thing, because I was wondering what kind of mask you play with, and are you finding it affects your breathing? I mean, you guys go pretty all out. I mean, I was wondering, how is that going to work, or is there something?
Yeah. The breathing, actually, I don't have a problem breathing. It's I sweat a lot, so like I'll be 10 minutes into the workout and my mask is like literally drooping off me because it's just full of sweat. So I think that's going to be my biggest issue if it does come to us having to play with masks or practicing with them at least.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you if I could. You have a unique perspective, not only the Black Lives Matter, but you have an Asian background, and there's been some talk that Asians have been targeted because of the coronavirus, et cetera. So I was wondering, and between yourself being from LA, Phoenix, and now in Tucson for college, if you experienced any racism on that side, any issues with police, any discrimination yourself that's affected you as well?
Definitely. I mean, put it this way, I'm half Korean. My grandma brought my uncle and my mom over here when they were 12, 13 years old from Korea. And in Korean culture, interracial couples isn't really a comfortable topic there. So, you know, when I was born, my mom's side of the family didn't really agree with that. But so I have so much love for my grandmother. She didn't care. She just was happy with the fact she was gonna have a grandbaby. So, you know, there's that aspect of it. And then with just being Black, I mean, I've had a few encounters. You know, I remember I just got my brand new car, and I'm driving to get some food, and I get pulled over for no reason, literally no reason. I'm just a young Black kid in a brand new car. And then I've had an incident where I was 12. I'm walking to a friend's house. I have a red polo shirt on and some pants, and they're asking me about gang activity or where am I going, you know. And at the time when I was 12, I didn't realize, oh, that's not right. But being 22, looking back at that wasn't right at all, because I wasn't doing anything. I was just minding my business, walking to where I needed to be. So, you know, I could tell you a bunch of stories, but that's why I'm so vocal right now, because this is an issue. We're not saying all lives don't matter. Yes, we want everybody to be equal. We want everybody to, you know, to have the same rights, to feel the same safety, you know, that type of deal. We're not trying to be violent. We're not trying to start anything. We just want to be equal.
Justin, go ahead.
So Ira, I'm assuming all of this happened in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, growing up with your dad being Black, did you guys ever have a father-son conversation about how you interact with police if they approach you or if you're at a traffic stop?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question, actually. So, I mean, for me growing up, because I grew up in an Asian household and a Black household, I didn't know what race was till my first encounter with the police when I was 12, the story I just told you. So, you know, I came home, I told my dad what happened. I'm, you know, real chill, like nothing really happened. And he's mad. Like he's screaming. He's like, who did it? What were the cops' names? What was their badge number? I was like, what's the issue? And then, you know, he explained it to me. He really explained it to me. And since then, you know, he's always educated me on our, you know, our history, shows me documentaries, we have our talks. And, but I didn't have that talk till I was 12. You know, growing up, I thought everybody was cool. You know, I go to my dad's house, everybody's black. Go to my mom's house, everybody's, you know, lighter, yellow, you know, whatever people want to describe Asian people as. And my best friend, my childhood best friend is white and Japanese. I grew up in a predominantly Latino neighborhood. So it's like in my head as a kid, I'm like, oh, everybody's cool. There's no racism. What's racism? But until my dad really broke it down to me, and I just had my own experiences growing up to this point, I see racism as a very big issue, and it's nowhere close to being gone.
And at what age did you have those conversations with your dad?
Like I said, it started when I was 12, and
12.
since then, I mean, we had a conversation yesterday because you know, me and my cousin, we went out to get some food, and he was just telling us to be safe. So, you know, we still have those conversations till this day.
Ryan, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, what do you guys as players think about someone like Jason Terry joining the program?
I think that's big. You know, he just knowing his history, and especially him being a former Wildcat, and just all the knowledge he can give us, you know, how to be, especially we all want to be at the next level. So, you know, he'll give us advice in that spectrum. But I think it's great. I think it's a real good pickup. Obviously, we miss Coach Gainey. You know, we all love and miss that dude. Great dude. But he's going to do great things at Marquette. But Coach Terry's a great pickup for us.
Go ahead, Bruce. Unmute. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Ira, you mentioned the LA things. I was just curious if here in Tucson, you've had any issues like that. And, you know, I know personally you had one issue just with the police here, and it seemed like everything was fine. But the reason I asked too is also because there was an issue. Justin talked to a former player, Juwan McClellan, who mentioned that when he was, I believe, a freshman, that he was at a party, not doing anything, and literally sat in the back of the car and was handcuffed and then let go because he didn't do anything. I didn't know if you'd had anything like that, or if you've had okay dealings with Tucson, either Tucson people or any police or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that going back to the question Justin asked me earlier about all the stories and encounters I've had, were they in LA? Actually, the first time I was pulled over was in Tucson, and that was when I just got my brand new car. I just drove back to Tucson from LA, yeah, that was my first time being pulled over. I think I was driving to Jack in the Box at like 11, 12 o'clock at night, making a right turn. The officer is on the left, like far left lane, and he just makes a sharp right, pulls me over. He says, you know, he asked me for my registration, and he asked if it was my car. Yeah, it's my car. So I give him my registration, the temporary registration, because I just got the car like 2 days before. And I'm sitting there for 30, 40 minutes. And he comes back and he says, this is not a registration. So he gave me a ticket. And my dad came down the next day and raised hell in downtown Tucson. Yes. And, you know, they ended up dropping the case because I didn't do anything. I showed them my license, proof of insurance, registration, showed them that the car's brand new. This is a temporary registration. So that's my only bad encounter I've had with police. And then, of course, my other incident, you know, I really won't speak on that, but that incident was on me. So I can't say anything about that.
Yeah, and yeah, I was sorry to bring that up, and I do remember watching a little bit of that, and it seemed like it was respectful on both sides. Like,
yeah, officer was really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. And so the big picture here, I was wondering, is just, it seems like you're a little more active in talking about all this, and I'm wondering if that's a combination of what you've gone through personally and what you're seeing in the world out there, or because you are kind of a leader now of this team and maybe older, more mature, whatever. I was kind of wondering, how did you get to where you're comfortable talking and doing all this?
I think it's more of age, definitely. I mean, I'm 22 now. You know, going in my 4th year of college, I've seen a lot of different things, and I just feel it's my turn to be a leader, not just to the Arizona basketball team, but to everyone that's seen me come up. Like, I have a bunch of young guys in high school that they don't really know about what's going on. So I feel it's my duty to educate them. And then also, I'm about to have a niece. My niece is due. My sister's having a daughter, so my niece is due within the next week. So I'm thinking in those terms, like, hey, I'm about to have a niece. She's going to be a young mixed Black girl growing up in America. So whatever I can do right now to help make it better for the future generations, then I'll do that.
Any other questions? I don't see any hands raised.
I was just gonna ask, Ira, you're gonna be only the eighth player under Sean Miller to sign out of Arizona and stay all 4 years. Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of guys don't stay for 4 years now, so I feel like it's a big deal. It really didn't hit me till the other day. Actually, I saw an article. I don't know, one of you guys probably wrote it, but I saw an article about me being in elite company, like with Doosan and Parker. And I really sat down and thought about it. I was like, wow, I've been here for 4 years. And it's a great feeling, man. I just, and all the guys that are transferring, that's like a trend now. Everybody transfers. I feel like that's an accomplishment. Because, you got to be mentally tough to, first of all, fight through and keep going. And especially with all the things I've been through in my college career with, I came in freshman year, we had the FBI deal. And then, all the different, there's so many things that's happened where many others would just leave or try to erase the situation. So I feel pretty accomplished for that.
Bruce, go ahead.
Yeah, hey Ira, just wondering, U of A seems to have a plan, they're sort of a re-entry plan they're talking about. You guys, I think tentatively looking at coming back mid or late July, and I'm wondering what you think about that. And in general, do you have any doubts that there's going to be a season or if there's going to be fans allowed, that kind of thing? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay as positive as possible. For myself and my teammates, but I have my moments where I doubt, like, hey, how is this going to work? Because the coronavirus really hasn't gotten that much better. Arizona just had a spike. Yeah. So I would love to just keep thinking positive, but I also have to be realistic here. But we're all unsure, so I'm just trying to be like everybody else, just waiting for more information and go from there.
Do you plan on, you do have a date in mind when you come back? Obviously you'll be driving here, but do you figure you come back mid-July or early July? And do you have any plans?
I'm not sure. With that one, I'm not sure. Even coaches don't know yet. They said they'll let us know within the next week or two. And once they let me know, then I'll start making plans.
If I could ask one more thing, you mentioned earlier you were working out with Tibet a little bit as well with your dad, and how often and what have you guys done? And I'm kind of curious, what do you think of his game since you've gotten to know him a little bit?
Love the kid, man. He's a great kid. Shooter. He can really shoot that ball. We already have sharpshooters on our team right now, but he can really shoot that ball. And I think once he comes in, we put some muscle on him. He just gets a couple good practices. He's going to do something special in the future.
Have you had any chance to contact the other guys, especially the big guys, Daniel and
I haven't had texted them or haven't had personal encounters with them yet, but I've talked to them on Instagram. I've reached out and saying, hey, congrats, welcome to the family, that type of deal. But for the most part, I've kept in contact with most of the team.
Great. Thanks, Ira.
Anything else from anybody else? All right, go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, Ira, I'm wondering, during this quarantine time, have you picked up a new skill?
if anything, I probably enhanced my skills in other hobbies that I had, like cooking. First month, I thought I was a chef, you know, so I was just trying different recipes out. I can say I think my songwriting's gotten better because I've had so much time. It's like you work out, you get your workout in, you do your summer classes, and then you have a whole day. It's not like I can go to the beach or go have fun with my friends. So yeah, I've just been working on my craft and my other hobbies. And I've been coloring. I have a coloring book now, so I'll put that in there.
All right, go ahead, Bruce.
Well, you keep touching on things, Ira, that I want to follow up on. But the what you've been doing and getting, you said you can't go to the beach. I mean, it seems like in LA it's been on and off. What beaches are open when they're closed, and now I know I was going to ask you too. Yesterday now they're saying masks are required everywhere in California, as well as here in Arizona. I don't know if you followed it, but it's been a little more of a battle, and I guess now the cities can individually do it. But I was curious your thoughts on it. It seemed from what you tweeted, it sounded like you're very much pro-mask and let's do this kind of thing. And I was kind of wondering if you could describe what it's been like in California for you.
I mean, well, we had, let's see, oh wow, it's been a while now. It's been like 2-3 weeks since they had protests in Orange County. You know, the people there, they didn't like the fact they had to wear masks. But honestly, if it helps us, if it keeps us from getting the disease, and I don't see why there's an argument at all. So I'm gonna keep wearing my mask wherever I go. And then the beaches and stuff, yeah, everybody's at the beach right now actually, because it's Juneteenth, so I know a lot of my friends are going, but I'm staying home. I'm good.
All right, Justin, go ahead.
No, yeah, Ira, I'm wondering, was Juneteenth ever a big holiday in your household, or how was it honored for you growing up?
Well, in general, my dad he's not a holiday guy, you know, but you know, he always made it a point to show me the history of it and why it's significant and why it's important. And it's especially important this year with everything that's happened. So, you know, I'll celebrate in my own way. I'm not going to party or go out and have fun, but I'll celebrate in my own way, you know, watch a couple Black documentaries, you know, just maybe even invest in a Black business or something like that.
Ira, I'm also curious. I saw Christian Coloco posted a video of himself working out, and he looks like he's put on a lot of muscle. Have you been talking to him, and have you been monitoring his progression this offseason?
Yeah, I FaceTime that dude like every week. He's gonna be a monster. I mean, we've been saying that. I said that last year. He's gonna be a monster, but he's gonna be a monster. I think he's gonna be one of the best shot blockers in school history.
Go ahead, Bruce.
Ira, what part of LA are you in now? And isn't Christian in LA somewhere with his sister? Or I was curious if you'd seen him this summer too.
I haven't seen him because he's more in the valley. I'm in Culver City, so we're about 20-30 minutes apart.
Has he been? Do you know where he's basing his workouts? Then has he got a place in the valley where he's going, or is it back to his old high school gym? Or
yeah, I think he has a place in the valley. A couple guys go there, so heard the guy that works with him is pretty good too. It looks like it. Christian, I think he had a video where he was hanging on the bar, and I was like, oh.
That's what Justin was referring to. Yeah, he looks like he's like put on another 50 pounds or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he's finally taking my dang advice and eating. So yeah, he looks good though. He looks great.
Cool. Thanks.
All right. Got nothing else, guys. We'll let Ira go. Thanks for your time, Ira. Greatly appreciate it.
Hey, thanks a lot, Ira.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Ira.
Thanks, Ira.
Yep, take care.